Hello, everyone, and welcome to this hopefully short and unfortunately solo episode of Dubai Wollobies, the podcast. I am your host, Elria, uh, and as the academic semester of winter 2022 is winding up, I thought I'd quickly come on over here and just like sit and chat with you guys, just reflect a little bit and answer some like questions, suggestions, feedback that I've received in a very chill manner. So grab your drink. Where's my? Mine is right here. You can have some tea and coffee, or coffee, and coffee. That's a lot of caffeine. Um, and we can chat. So, first things first. Why did I start this podcast? Well, it's no secret that I'm a very chatty person. It's really hard to shut me up once I start talking. And I've always been told that I should get like some sort of a creative outlet for this. Um, so there's that. But I've also had this goal always of wanting to start some sort of passion project while I'm still in university. So something that's not required academically, but at the same time, I'm still learning and growing from it. So it's outside like academic requirements and like professional stuff and stuff you do for those sort of reasons. Um, and soon came along BCM 112, one of the electives I took this semester. To make a very, really long story short, the subject, especially the staff and my peers, my classmates, they really gave me, number one, the structure, which is kind of like motivation and incentive, like, and you're incentivized for marks. But more than that, like the support and encouragement to actually ideate something like this and follow through with the idea. Because normally what would happen before is I'd either really struggle to get a good concept, or once I would have something that could have been a solid concept, I wouldn't actually follow through with it or follow through with it long enough. So yeah, without their support, I don't think we would be at episode 2. So what was my experience like, or what has my experience been? Because it's still happening. We're just at the beginning, folks. We've barely started. So, but all that being said, it's been a roller coaster, to say the least. And I think I've really stepped outside of my comfort zone. Because I don't like being in front of cameras. Like, it's so weird. And I know a lot of people feel that way, but like, just like even like right now, most of my face is covered by my phone, so I don't have to see myself. That and even though I sing, like I really hate listening to my own voice on any like audio. Like just the recorded version of myself makes me cringe. And I know, again, I'm not alone in that one. So if you feel me, same. Uh, but I think being uncomfortable or facing the things that make you uncomfortable help you grow, or at least that's what I've been told. So this is personal development that you're seeing, that you're witnessing firsthand. Now, I do wish in this time I would have produced more content. I know I could have if I pushed myself to do it, but then again, it's in all honesty, this semester I've not been really good at aligning my priorities, I guess you could say, with my goals. And it's funny because it's something I get lectured about very often. But don't don't bite that more than you can chew, as they say. So in other words, like if there is a lot on your plate, don't take on more. It's okay to say no. But even if you feel like that's something you want to do or that you can do, like you need to be realistic with like your goals and your expectations, and there are only 24 hours in a day and there's only so much energy you have as a person. But yeah, that's that. And it's one of those things you learn the hard way, or sometimes you learn it the hard way multiple times over the course of life or whatever. But that being said, I'm still really happy with what we have out there, and I'm pleasantly surprised. And I was like really blown away by the reception and like the positive feedback. And I've had people tell me that normally they don't really enjoy podcasts. It's not really their thing. They can't really be bothered to sit down, but they found episode 1, which we did with Mariam. Hi, Mariam. Thank you, Mariam, for joining me last time. It was so fun. But they found it so engaging and so interesting that they actually didn't even realize, I guess around 31 minutes passed by. So that was really nice to know. And others said that they still don't have like a 30-minute attention span. It's nothing, and that's totally understandable. Most people are like that. You can't, you don't really have the patience or the time to sit and focus on something for 30 minutes. And what I'm trying to do with that, and one of the suggestions that I've gotten as well, is to create like smaller, like little snippets of little bits of the episode on Instagram, or create little shorts. So that's something I'm still trying to work out how to create that like in a visually appealing way, but also making sure it's not too short or too long, because like sometimes we'll have like this entire like point dedicated to like one question or something, but it's a whole like 5-minute mini conversation of its own. So still trying to work around that, but hopefully it's something I can be better at implementing for the next episode. So there was that. Let's see what else. I wish I learned more. Okay, this is funny. I wish I learned more about like technicalities and like all of those stuff, because I have someone invited over for a future episode, and I know the person is watching, and they pretty much blasted me on how horribly I was positioned for both the mic and the camera. And it was really funny, like, looking back at the recording and like editing and stuff. I was like, girl, what are you doing? That does not look right. I don't know how to do it correctly, but that does not look right. So that was hilarious. It's but I think that's a good thing. Like, that's something, like, it's a work in progress. I think I will definitely learn more as I grow, because this is, as I said, like, just it's really, really at the beginning. And based on like what sort of feedback I've been getting, it's something I definitely want to continue, like, even though it started as this sort of like academic requirement of a project. I've like straight up had people say, I hope you don't end this, because I really want to see more. And that is so exciting to see and to hear. So I think that's a perfect segue to talk about feedback. Some of you know, at the early stage, I tried to circulate a survey to gauge interest and to kind of understand, like, what are people into, what sort of content can I create. And I wanted to quickly share some of the interesting results. So initially I wanted to do this properly podcast style, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, these sort of things, like with the emphasis on the audio part. But in class, a lot of people kept suggesting to keep it audio-visual, like YouTube and stuff like that. And when I did the survey, I think this kind of confirmed that generally this sort of format tends to, I think with this audience particularly, it's more of a match and it's more engaging, that sort of way. So YouTube is a platform I decided to focus on for the content. I do like that people prefer podcast lengths of 25 to 30 minutes, as like that was the most voted option. And I like the range both as a listener myself when I listen to podcasts, but also as like when speaking. It's a good like amount of time to hold a conversation without it being too brief and too short on like one end, or like going off on a complete tangent. Like, there's a bit of a balance for both. And I really like that, like it's kind of like, okay, I like doing this, and my viewers also enjoy like this sort of a format. So I think that was a really good fit. Let's see, what else? Majority did choose Instagram as the go-to platform for updates, which is why you pretty much see all the updates over there, or that's where you have been finding stuff from. And some did personally even tell me to completely shift the podcast over there and just to master Instagram and like completely take advantage of it as a content creation and marketing platform. This is an interesting like option. I might look into it. I'm still not like very familiar with I mean, it is my most used social media, but I don't really, I've never really looked at too much from that sort of perspective. I've made like content for my cat's Instagram, so I know a little bit about reels, and but I'm still figuring out the technicalities of that, and to see if this is like a good sort of option to pursue, since I guess the logic in my head is it's easier to get people who are already on Instagram to just like view this other post on Instagram, whereas converting them from Instagram viewers to go to YouTube again to watch this 30-minute video. So that might be something I might explore, and just like other than YouTube also, I'm really open to like other sort of platforms, like next to Instagram. Twitter was the most voted sort of platform, but I didn't really see the same amount of like reception and interest. I think a lot of people would choose Twitter if, for example, they're like in BCM subjects and they're required to have it for like class purposes. So that's like one angle that I was thinking about it, but like I'm open to explore. Now, we were talking about marketing platform. Now, I'm not the best at marketing, but I think this also ties back to my experience about like how I've been trying to research about good copywriting, how to make good visuals, graphics, understanding your niche audience, how to make content that engages them, and just like how to edit videos. I was like, this is a complete nightmare at the beginning. I still remember when I was handed the footage over by the professors, they were like, do you know what you're doing? I was like, oh, yeah, I'll figure it out. It took me a while to figure it out. But I do not come from a media background, as you guys may know, so this is all very different to me. But it's been such an enriching experience to figure it out, and yeah, I like learning the hard way. But it's been a lot of fun. I won't say no to that. And a last point about feedback was the specific comment that someone made, someone left on the survey that I wanted to touch a bit on. So they said, don't limit the podcast speakers to just student leaders. Get the everyday student on, graduates, maybe even a professor to mix things up. So I think this person also noted that they couldn't see my WordPress site. So this explains why they said this, because if you've seen my pitch, but then again, most people wouldn't have, because only, I guess, BCM students would like really know about the pitch. Even though I try to put it out there, I didn't spend too much time focusing on that for the viewers. Anyways, if you would have seen the pitch, you would have known that this is what I initially envisioned for the podcast to be. So not just student leaders, but also getting professors and talking about their sort of line of work, their experience, this and that, talking about mental health, talking about just other, not just professors, even staff, talking to other current students, not necessarily someone who's involved in SRC or clubs, but just in general, just to talk about, have some sort of a conversation there, graduates, I have all of these, I had all of these ideas in mind at the beginning, but what was most important to me was two things: that the topics that I talk about, number one, I enjoy talking about them. I can have a conversation, which is not too hard for most of the time. I'll talk about anything and everything. But number two, that the audience also is looking for content like this, and they appreciate listening to something like this. So that is why I would keep asking people what would you like to listen to? What are you sort of interested in? And there's lots of interesting suggestions that I've gotten there. I've tried to filter through them. It's really it's a bit tricky to figure out which to do first, which one is more appealing. Some have been some are overlapping, so I count them as the same topic. Some are very different. I'm still trying to navigate a lot of that. But I think this also heads to the point of leads to the point of where Dubai Wollobies, the podcast, is headed. So first of all, I wanted to note that even though my target audience is current UOWD students, to me, a Wollobie with an O, is anyone past, present, or future a part of the UOWD family. So that could be a current student or a graduate, or could even be a prospective student. But I think it also involves like, staff and teaching faculties and anyone that could like to listen and engage with them. This podcast is meant for everyone. And that being said, I do have an interesting episode lined up where my guests and I will explore digital privacy, which we agree is something important for people of our age to be aware about and vigilant about. So I did write a couple of simple blog posts on just touching on the topic. I might link it below on the thingy. But I think that was basically my starting point, where I realized that this is a topic that I have interest in, and it is a very important topic that needs to be talked about. But other than that, I'm going to let you guys choose. I'll put up some of the top suggestions on the screen, and I think I'll keep like the top 3 or top 5. You're going to find out. It's like going to be right here, but I might get to them all eventually, but you get to choose which one will be first. So please do pick, and please do keep engaging with the content. Please do keep giving feedback, or any and all is appreciated. Even like what's the word I'm looking for? Criticism. Yeah. Constructive criticism, that was the word I was looking for. Anything and all is appreciated. At the end of the day, this content is for you. And yeah, that will be it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next episode. Bye bye.